Valley ho, everyone. Okay, so this line right here is the place where the water drips in when I have what is called an ice dam. You can see some places here that water drips through these holes. I believe this is just sheeting like plywood, painted and peeled to look like ceiling. And I will show you in a moment the outside part, how that connects. So use these square windows for reference, and you'll see that the roof is underneath, right under there. So this thing drips like crazy. That is why I have the blankets over everything, and if not for the drain tile and the retaining wall that I'll point out again, right underneath of there, water would just come pouring through every time we get more than like an inch of rain an hour. The ground gets saturated. Eventually that floods all the way down into here, and if it isn't drained out by a floor pump, like a sump pump that I set there and plug in and run, it will fill up all the way, and eventually it'll go to there. When it goes to there, it goes back down into the gap between this floor, which is an old patio, and that floor, which is the foundation of a basement of a house. And it will come back up right where my finger is. There are ant tunnels through the concrete that they ate through, and the water seeped up through there. Anywhere that they've come in, so will water. So, 40 degrees on the porch. It's 20 degrees outside. I'm wearing, you can see the black there is my Carhartt underneath, and then I've got, and it's wicking Under Armour, like thermals. As you can see, I'm not wearing snow gear, I'm just wearing sweatpants. Okay, right where that's dug out, somewhere around here is where the outlet for the gutter drain is. We will see it better when it gets warmer. That runs underground from this point, but everything else here that I dug out, all those lanes that I dug out are 1-inch coarse gravel, underneath of which is buried a hollow plastic tube that has little holes in it that lets the rainwater that goes through the gravel go into the tube. And the trick is that because of the angles of it and the way it's buried, the water goes out the tube, drains out that way, which is below the water table, and prevents that from flooding. So that's what all of this is a system of drain tubes, very Mario, little tube outlets on the ends. What I've got going up here was the snow removal from yesterday with the rake, which has now been moved, and the rope. What you got here is, you can see how broad the drift used to be, and then I carved out a whole bunch. I've got these wires, these are plugged in, it's a heater, and what it does is it melts out so that the ice on the roof, as it melts underneath from the heat inside the house melting the bottom, it doesn't glaciate and slide, tear off your gutter. Then here where the pieces of roof connect, the old to the new, there's your square windows for reference. And this old roof here is right where that little thing is inside that drips. So I have to keep the water out of here as much as possible. And it's always kind of a mystery how it gets in, so I have to just kind of go broad on the method. So I've got a melter underneath that actually goes down about 1.5 inches to the actual roof. So by clearing out as much as possible up there, it makes it so that there's less chance that water will build up behind a little dam made out of ice, hence the term ice dam, and basically cause that drippage inside my house, which is really irritating. So anyways, that's kind of what home ownership is about, is making sure that your house doesn't leak in any possible way. So when I talk about ice melters and ice dam, that's what I'm referring to, is trying to prevent one right there. I took the rake, I threw it all the way up, good 15, 20 feet, and then I just pulled it with the rope for several hours until it was all torn down. Anyways, just thought I would explain what the project was actually about.